So, hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of AzBytes. Today, we're delving into the fascinating world of quantum computing with Microsoft. So, if you're curious about the future of technology and how quantum computing is set to revolutionize industries, you are in the right place. Today, I'm joined by my incredible colleague Bex, and we are going to jump straight into the world of quantum.
Yeah, thank you so much, John. It's really great to be here. And I think maybe we should start by asking ourselves, what exactly is quantum computing? So imagine a computer that is not just faster, but fundamentally different from the one we use today. So quantum computers harness the power of quantum mechanics to perform complex calculations at speeds that are unimaginable to classic computers. I like to think about it that it is like having a supercharged brain that can solve problems in seconds that would take traditional computers years to crack.
Absolutely. But what about qubits, Bex? I've heard this term qubits. Can we talk a little bit about that? Because I think my understanding is that in classical computers, we had the basic unit of information, which we would call a bit. It can either be a zero or it can be a one. But when we look at quantum computers, we've got this concept of qubits. And qubits are a little bit like bits, too many bits there, but they can be both zero and one at the same time, thanks to a property in quantum mechanics called superposition. So I guess imagine spinning a coin that can be both heads and tails at the same time. It's a weird concept, but have you heard of that before, Bex?
Yeah, and that's a really good segue into to Microsoft, and we are kind of leading the way in this quantum revolution. And so Microsoft have been working really hard to make quantum computing accessible to everyone. And the latest breakthrough is our new chip, which is called Majorana 1 chip. And this is the world's first quantum processor powered by a special type of qubit called topological qubit, a word full there. So what makes this chip so special? It's actually built with a new class of material called a topoconductor. So basically think of it as a super material that allows the chip to perform quantum calculations more efficiently and reliably. So this is a huge step forward in making quantum computing practical for real world applications, actually.
Absolutely. I guess, quantum computers, that promise that they're here to transform science and society, but only after they achieve that scale, I guess, once they've, that scale is once did seem like a distant and elusive thing. We're getting very close to that, right? So my understanding is that Microsoft's new chip is designed to scale up to 1 million qubits on a single chip, which is really a game changer in the field, and it's going to pave the way for reliable quantum computation right off into the future. But I guess, Bex, what do you think this means to the average person?
Yeah, and that's where the really interesting bit starts, right? Because quantum computing, sorry, has the potential to revolutionize a lot of industries like healthcare, finance, construction, and logistics by solving these very complex problems that are currently beyond the reach of classical computers. Because imagine being able to accurately predict the quantum processes that determine the properties of material. This could lead to innovations like self-healing materials and sustainable agriculture or safer chemical discovery. But to be honest, the reality is we don't really know exactly yet what we can do with this new technology. And I think we need more kind of developers to start working with quantum computers to actually realize the practical and real world use cases for just quantum computing.
Absolutely, that's a really good way to explain and understand it, I guess. So, the other thing I'm thinking is, I guess, with all of that, great power that quantum computing kind of promises, comes a certain amount of great responsibility, right? So, as I understand it, one of the big significant risks associated with quantum computing is the potential impact it's going to have on cryptography. So, with quantum computers that really could break encryption algorithms of today that are in use currently protecting a lot of our data platforms, making it really vulnerable to any cyber attacks. This is why, as I understand it, researchers are working on developing these quantum-resistant cryptographic algorithms to ensure that our data remains secure right into the age of quantum. So, with quantum holding that a promise for addressing some of the world's most pressing challenges, like you said, other examples could be optimizing energy usage, improving climate modeling, and advancing medical research by simulating complex biological processes. Microsoft has got this initiative called Quantum for Good, which really is a broad initiative encompassing all of these kind of good things that are going to have really huge societal benefits and impact, by leveraging quantum computing.
Yeah, and also I also want to mention that we should not forget about the concept called being Q-day ready. So just like the millennium bug, where we had this kind of panic globally that computers might not come with the change from the year 1999 to 2000, Q-day represent the moment when quantum computers becomes powerful enough to break current encryption standards. I mean, which is clearly a problem. And it's really fun to think about that we at least knew when the millennium bug would, be happening, but nobody actually knows when the Q-day will drop. So therefore, I guess it's kind of crucial for organizations to prepare for this transition by adopting some kind of quantum resistant technologies and strategies as well.
Absolutely, super thought provoking there, Bex. Thanks for that. So, what can we do to learn more?
Yeah, so if you're eager to start your journey into quantum computing, I would definitely recommend you to head over to quantum.microsoft.com or our Quantum Innovator series that take part in our Quantum Ready program. And what is really good is there's both this training and where you can learn more is both from a business perspective, but as well as a more technical, in-depth perspective. So yeah, being obviously Q-day ready is crucial, and definitely Microsoft are geared up to support you. So check out the links in the description of this video if you're interested to learn some more.
Amazing stuff, Bex. Thank you so much for joining me and talking about the wonderful world of quantum. So I guess, thank you for today. That's all for today's video, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the real world of quantum mechanics and quantum computing with Microsoft. Please do like, subscribe, leave any comments below, and hit that little bell notification so you don't miss the next episode. But leaves me finally to say thank you, Bex, for being an awesome guest. See you on the next one.
Thank you for having me. Bye.